If you only glance at the headline, this looks like a programming note. It is more than that. NASA is telling the public exactly how Artemis I will be seen before launch, during the flight, at the moon, and at splashdown. That matters now, because Artemis II is the first crewed mission in the Artemis program. And it is scheduled for a specific launch attempt window starting April 1, when an agency publishes a detailed media plan. It is also revealing what moments it considers decisive. In this case, those moments include launch, the trans-lunar injection burn, the lunar flyby, live crew conversations, and return to Earth. So the real question is not just how to watch. It is what this coverage schedule tells us about the mission itself, for viewers trying to understand the next phase of lunar exploration. This is a practical map of where the big tests and uncertainties sit. NASA describes Artemis I as a crewed test flight around the moon lasting about 10 days. The crew is Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Koch, and Canadian astronaut Jeremy Hansen. They will fly on the SLS rocket in the Orion spacecraft. The key technical point in NAS's article is simple. Orion's life support systems will be tested for the first time with humans on board. That is the heart of the mission. This is not a landing mission. It is a systems test in deep space with people inside the vehicle. Seen that way, the coverage plan starts to make sense. NASA wants the public to follow a sequence of technical milestones, not just a single launch spectacle. Every briefing on downlink helps frame Artemis I as a test campaign with a human crew, rather than a symbolic loop around the moon. That distinction matters if you want to judge the mission on its actual purpose. NASA says it will provide live coverage of pre-launch, launch, and mission events, then continue with real-time mission coverage on YouTube. It also points viewers to an NASA on Amazon Prime, with separate event streams and, when bandwidth allows, a live stream of views from Orion. That level of access serves several purposes. It keeps the mission legible to the public. It helps journalists and researchers track events in near real time. And it shows confidence, or at least a decision to appear transparent, during a high-profile test flight. But the article is careful. NASA also notes that timings may change. Bandwidth may limit video, and communications may temporarily drop during the far side lunar passage. That restraint is important. The agency is not promising uninterrupted spectacle. It is outlining a managed window into a complicated mission. In that sense, the coverage plan is also a lesson in how modern space agencies balance openness with operational limits. Several entries in NAS's schedule stand out. On launch day, coverage begins with tanking operations, then continues through liftoff and into orbit, followed by a post-launch briefing after the upper stage burn that sends Orion toward high Earth orbit. That tells you NASA sees the mission as a chain of critical steps, not a single event. Later, the agency highlights the trans-lunar injection update, daily status briefings, and multiple crew downlinks. The lunar flyby is especially revealing. NASA notes that, for an April 1 launch, the crew may pass farther from Earth than the Apollo 13 record, reaching about 655 miles. At the same time, NASA warns that video may be limited during an eclipse and communications may be lost temporarily behind the moon. That combination is telling. The most dramatic part of the mission is also the least media-friendly. The schedule reminds us that in spaceflight, the key moment is not always the clearest on screen. This is a NASA article, not a China story, but for a channel about China-related questions. It still offers a useful comparison point. Artemis I shows how the United States presents a major crewed deep space test named astronauts, a public timeline, repeated briefings, partner visibility for Canada, an open acknowledgement of technical limits. That does not tell us everything about capability, but it does show one model of public-facing space power for anyone following the wider moon race, including China's own lunar ambitions. These details matter because space competition is not only about rockets and spacecraft. It is also about credibility, institutions, and the ability to explain complex missions in public. So the payoff from this NASA update is modest but real. By reading the coverage plan closely, you understand Artemis I more clearly what it is testing, where the risks are, and how a major space agency wants that effort to be watched and judged.